Let's move on to the next page, playlists.html. I'm gonna open this page in a browser. And now let's take a look at the final result that we are about to get after applying the dark theme. So just because we already applied dark theme to the header as well as the footer, I have gone ahead and replaced markup of header and the footer with the markup that already contains dark styles. So we wouldn't have to apply dark styles to header and footer over again. Now let's start working on the dark theme for this page. First of all, I'm going to enable dark theme for playlists page by adding dark mode class within this Tailwind CSS configuration object with a value of selector. And then to enable this theme, I'm going to add class dark to the root element of this page right here. And as usual, let's start with applying dark background to this page as well as make those headings white. I'm going to add bg-gray 800 class to the body element to make background dark. And then let's scroll down, and here I'm going to apply text white to make the main heading white, and to the subheading let's apply text gray 300 to make the color light gray. And now that we are done with that, it's time to apply some classes to the input field. We're going to make this field dark when the dark theme is active. So I will scroll down to this input field right here, and let's start applying classes. The first class that I'm going to add will be ring indigo 400. That is going to make color of the outline of this field indigo with a shade of 400, but only when this field will be in focus and when the dark theme will be active. Next one, I'm going to make background color dark gray, and border will be removed. The text color will be white, and placeholder color will be gray with a shade of 400. There is also this heading right here, which we're about to make white. And if we'll jump back to the browser, we can see the result. Next one, let's apply a couple of classes to the elements of this list. So in here, let's find the first list item, and I'm going to make the color of those list items gray with a shade of 300. And when hovering over those list items, the background color has to change on gray with a shade of 700. And just because we have a bunch of such elements on this page, I'm going to do global search. We'll take the list of these classes and replace the rest of classes on other such elements with this list. And after doing this replacement, we can see how all those list items now have proper styles when the dark theme is active. Next one, let's apply classes to this individual card. And after we are done with that, we're going to basically copy over all those classes and apply them to the rest of such cards on the page. Let's find the markup of this card. It is represented by this article element. So right here, I'm going to make the border color indigo with a shade of 400, but only when the hover state will be active. The background color of this card will be gray with a shade of 700, and the border color will be black. The heading color will be white, and the description of the card will be gray with a shade of 400. And lastly, we also have a couple of texts at the bottom of this card. I'm going to change the background color of those texts on indigo with a shade of 600, and the text color within those texts will be indigo with a shade of 50. And then let's take these two classes and apply them to the second tag as well. And after doing that, we can take a look at the final result. Here is how the extension card looks like when the dark theme is active. And I'm going to quickly take all those classes that we have just applied and apply them to the rest of cards, so that eventually we're going to get such result. And with that, we're done working on the dark theme for the playlists page. In the next lesson we'll continue, and the link to the source code of this project will be in the video description.